So confused.
So confused. Shout out Chumpets. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we don't have no technical issues. Woo woo.
Not today. Not today,
yeah.
Satan.
So today with Lis Rohm, who hasn't been on in quite a while because she was busy working and dealing with a COVID restriction on Law and Order set, and Doug Budin. I thought they were so good together. I'd actually missed her, I think.
I like when Lis Rohm's on. I think she's funny. I think like since Jeff is in a renewed good mood, that everything's back to just being silly and funny. But I was going to ask you a question. Do you think Lis Rohm makes more money as an actress or a director?
Oh my God, what a good question.
Because I was like, she doesn't really do as many acting gigs now. And I don't know if that's because she's phasing out because she's getting older, and you know how shitty Hollywood is to women. Not that she's old or anything like that, but
I know. I wonder how old she is. Do you think young 40s? She has a kid.
Yeah.
She has a teenager,
40s.
doesn't she? Somebody says she's a director. I guess it depends on the part. It seems like a lot of her jobs have been kind of, nothing blockbuster where you're paid like, $3 million a movie or anything like that. So
Lifetime
I really
stuff,
don't know.
People are saying director, and that's what I always wondered, because I wonder if they have more stake in the game. They could lose more money or they could make more money, depending on how successful the project.
Yeah, and a lot of actors become directors. So maybe that kind of is always like kind of in your thing where, thank you, Bridget, where a lot of teachers, as they get towards retirement, they get into administration, whether it's principal or human resources, because those last 3 years is where they get their retirement money from based on. So they want to make more money the last few years.
Someone's saying she's 49. Okay, so she's 49.
So she's exactly my age. I loved it. I'm not tired of the never been happier thing, but I do think as the marriage goes on, I think it's kind of lost its luster. Like she's not so fanatic about that now. The honeymoon stage is probably
it's not as shiny and new as it was before. And she made a comment. Her husband, I forget his name. She said that he said, Peter, why do you go there? All they do is ask you invasive questions. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. It sounded like a little love affair between her and Jeff, though. Like, I love the clip. You think they'll end up using it? She said something about the clip, and he said, "Well, there's your soundbite for next week."
No, I probably they know how to play that up. You want to see the ring? I'd like to see the ring too. What her ring looks like.
I'm wondering if it's got, kind of the old-fashioned where it has like a big diamond and like lots of little tiny diamonds around it, kind of very 1930s or 40s circa. I'm wondering if that's why Jeff doesn't like the style of it, but he likes the diamond.
I think it's more of like a 1980s design, and I don't know what that would be like. Can I show you my grandmother's ring?
Yeah, you've got it handy? Oh, that's beautiful.
But it's very antiquated. It's very like, I've never liked it. It used to fit on my ring finger, but now I'm too fat.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, I don't know.
I love that. My mom had her original band was in white gold and all the diamonds. She eventually had that put into a totally separate, I still got the setting of that. She took all the exact same diamonds, picked out a different one in yellow gold. We're having issues again?
Oh no. Is it freezing? It doesn't look like anybody's getting off.
I don't know. Give it a thumbs up if everything's going okay.
Yeah.
Again, they bring up the now we know how expensive these Dumb and Dumber costumes are, though. They're expensive.
Well, I think also when you wait to the last moment, then you have to deal with shipping and all that BS. So yeah. I still think they need to use those costumes. They don't have to bring it to the nicest party, but I would still like to see a picture. There's got to be more than one party for them to go to.
Yeah, and it sounds like they must have wigs, they must have shoes. What are their accessories? Because it seems that's how costumes are, though. They'll be like the very basics, and then you've got to buy all this other shit to make them look good.
Accessories.
Like, I wonder if it had to sign in 3 times. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it keeps working.
Well, it's a 3-piece tux, and it's from the 1970s. So I was like assuming they're like, are they getting like a used one, like from before? Because I can't imagine those are still in, or maybe it's an actual Dumb and Dumber costume that somebody is selling.
Well, I almost think, yeah, but you know how things can be like better quality. Like you can get a thin sheet type suit, or the white shirt is really nasty. I think they probably have a very high quality Dumb and Dumber costumes. You know what I mean?
Yes, because didn't he even say to Shane, and Shane was like, well, you told me you didn't want it to be cheap. So
yeah,
Shane's just doing this job.
Shit, if I were Shane, I'd be happy to spend that money. I'd be like, this is good. And I think Shane does. I think he knows how to get a high quality, you know, so it doesn't look cheap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The whole Disneyland thinking, did it make you, shout out Kim, did it make you sad that Doug seemed to ride alone a lot and they were kind of making fun of him?
I thought it was sad when he said, I noticed that you guys were laughing at me and pointing, and Jeff was like, oh, I didn't know you realized. And even poor little Monroe, the moral compass of the group, was like, stop making fun of Doug. I would have
called her the moral compass of the group.
Yes,
that's pretty sad. She just turned 6 yesterday. That's
and it used to be Jameson, but Jameson was a little, he was teasing too. I know, poor Dougie. Poor Dougie. Well, Dylan said that she was going to ride with him at the very end. She was like, oh, never mind.
So I think Jameson was happy that he had people to ride with a lot of time. You know what I mean? Doug is my favorite too. I would have definitely ridden. I think Doug will be one of the most fun to ride with too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Her and Monica.
He would be oohing and on.
Yeah. Oh, totally, for sure. I was kind of surprised to hear. Now we know why Scary Sherry was invited. She's never been to Disneyland.
Yeah. I wonder if when we met her, I didn't notice an accent, but Doug imitated her. Did she have an accent? Do you remember?
She is, I don't know if it's called Middle Eastern. She's something like that.
Okay.
Like it's not spelled Sherry like Sherri. It's actually spelled different. I don't remember what it is, but I've seen her spelling somewhere before. I have no idea. Probably in a DM with someone and they spelled it and it was very different, like Sherri. Almost seemed like a shortcut instead of the name being Sherry. Yeah. You wouldn't want to ride with Jeff. Why not? Because he'd bitch about his back.
Because he would push you out and make you be on the side where you got wet or something jumped out at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I remember Sherry's very tiny. She's a petite little woman.
I remember that too. She's one of those you really can't figure out her age though.
Yeah, she looks younger.
Mid to late 50s, but she's very young looking and very petite.
Yeah, I was going to say early 60s maybe.
Yeah, very well.
But she could totally pull off like 10 to 15 years younger, definitely.
Okay, but what do y'all think? I'm not into the psychic thing. Maybe more of y'all are.
I'm not.
What do you think about bringing your psychic with you to something like rides that really could be dangerous? We've seen rides mess up, and she basically says, yeah, we'll get on that one. Yeah, we're not getting on that one. I think that would freak me out.
I think so also. I think just having a psychic around, because like they know, like supposedly they know when you're going to die. They know something bad's going to happen. So if you're around them all the time and they're like saying something to you, or you're just like constantly reading into it, like, is that the day I'm going to die? You know what I mean? It would be very nerve-wracking.
Isn't there a movie or something about that where they ask you, or I've heard that if someone could tell you when you're going to die, would you want to know?
No, maybe.
I don't know.
I would, because I'd spend all my money really quick.
Oh, Sherry O'Terry is 60 years old. I had no idea.
Either did I. She's another little tiny lady.
Oh my God. I'm shocked. I literally thought she was like late 40s like me.
No,
not that 60 is too much further from me. It's only 11 years away.
I know. You know, I was just thinking the other day, I was like, oh my God, I'm almost 50.
No fucking way.
Like you're too. It's just like, remember when we were young and someone would be 50 that we would be like, that's so old.
I mean, 40 was old, right? 40 is old. And now I'm 49.
I'm 48.
like Jeff. I don't want to deal with age. I don't want to deal with wow,
Bridget.
That. I had
Bridget
no idea.
Knows Miss Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah. Rena's 59. I sort of knew that. You can kind of see that on Rena's face though.
Yeah.
Plus her kids are older, and I think she got married a little bit later.
I wonder if Kyle is, how old Kyle is.
Kyle actually is pretty young. I think she had her first kid at like 20 or 20. I think she got married at like 19, and she had Farrah at like 20, 22. And Farrah is maybe, oh my God. Isn't Farrah the one about to get married?
Yeah, the oldest one.
I want to say Farrah is late 20s, 30. I really don't know.
I thought she was, I don't know. I thought she was 32. Oh, someone's saying Kyle.
Is she 53? Okay. Wow. What did you think of Sherry telling Doug? And I think he mentioned this Monday, maybe. He was talking about, he was singing a little song about finding his prince. And she goes, well, maybe not for you. And that's okay. Oh my God.
I was like, that's horrible. Maybe Sherry's wrong. Does Sherry know about Vegas?
He paid for that, honey. That was a $500 date.
Girl, a lot of men pay for their brides.
Oh, brides. Oh.
So, like, you know, I don't think Doug has a lot of money, but I'm just saying that was kind of, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want to know that.
But I think Doug's okay with that too. I don't think Doug's someone he's like me. He's not looking to get married or anything like that.
Yeah, I think he has fun. I think he lives a nice,
full life.
Free life. I think it's as busy as he wants it to be. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't want kids.
Life.
He doesn't want kids. He just fucking kids.
Kids complicate everything.
They sure do.
Who was it? Was it Zach Noe Tower saying that people make no. It was Fortune Feimster. When I was watching her Netflix comedy show today, I finally finished it. It's so cute. And she talks about having kids because after she and Jax got married, she said the next question was everyone wanted to know if they were going to have kids. And she's like, well, right now we're dog moms and we're fine with that. She goes, and you parents don't make it seem too fun. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of true.
Exactly.
Like, I think if parents were going to sell being parents to not, I don't think they would sell it. They'd be like,
and I'm telling you, as a teacher, I don't know how many parents are just like exasperated, overwhelmed. They always say, I don't know how you do what you do, Miss Herrera. And I was like, I know. So a lot of people are just like, Someone was asking about the group selfie in the bathroom. I think they're just being silly.
Whose idea do you think it was?
I
don't feel like is very creative. I feel like he likes a structure. He likes to take a picture outside of sight glass. He knows. I feel
like they were running out of time, and they said, well, let's just take a picture in a hall. And someone said, well, let's just go in the bathroom. But I was kind of surprised because the bathroom is so gross and dirty. And I even said to Doug, I said, did you put your little bottom really on that toilet seat?
Because it looks like he's really pulled down. Were they?
No. But even on his jeans, like even like it's touching his jeans. Like I knew someone that got hepatitis from a toilet seat.
How do you narrow it down though? Where you got something from?
Because my friend's mom's boyfriend had hepatitis and he used the bathroom and then somebody contracted hepatitis also. I mean, it could have been a lie, but I just feel like toilet seats are dirt. Sorry.
I don't understand hepatitis. I know there's one where like food people can't have hepatitis if they work in food business.
Yes, it's really contagious. And I know you can get it from blood, from tattoos, and unprotected sex.
Oh. What the actual hell?
Definitely, I know. I don't know how we would.
Jeff is more happy with Stu. He is so much more pleasant. I agree. I think we can all hear it when Jeff is happy with himself, or Stu. Obviously we relate it to Stu because we can hear the uncomfortableness of the past week or so. And then since yesterday and today, especially today he even talked about it even more, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He actually gave Stu a lot of credit.
Costumes. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say he actually gave Stu a lot of credit today. And I was like, I forgot to write it down, but he was like, no, it's been me this last couple times. And I was like, take your hat off, sir.
I know. I think I made a story that said Mr. Personal Responsibility. I was shocked.
I know.
Yes, but then, of course, he dug in there. Well, not the last 8 times. I mean, those were his fault. But the last 2 times, which I don't know what 2 times he means, right?
Who
Have they
knows
had
what
a
2
breakup that we
times?
didn't even know about, or a pause?
Probably. I think they
Yeah.
break up every other day, probably, or on the verge.
That's got to be so stressful. But like somebody DM me, well, a lot of people DM me about Stu and them. But just the sexual tension and the fire they must have between each other, because clearly they do love each other. Clearly they do have fun with each other. And Jeff, even all the bitching he's done for all these months, he would always say, none of that bothers me. Like I might tease him about it and about losing his wallet and all that, because none of that bothers me. I'm just joking about that stuff. Yeah.
And what I've always said is that people in relationships that are very up and down and roller coastery, they like the makeup. They like the makeup sex. That's the biggest, like,
yeah,
you know, mind altering thing in the world. So,
well, and speaking of sex, when they were talking again about Manjaro and Ozempic in this athletic greens thing, which I did make a post about
I saw
on story with a link. Everyone is very clear.
It's kind of expensive.
It's much cheaper on the Athletic Greens website. And then someone actually told me later, and actually she told me I could tell y'all. So she actually told me because she was getting so many DMs. Krista is the one amongst several of her friends that is doing this, and she's lost so much weight. And she says, I didn't even eat yesterday. I literally just remembered I didn't even eat. So it really does work. And she's the one that told me to put on the story for everyone to get the travel packets. Because if you travel, like she traveled recently and she didn't have them, and that's all she wanted to do is eat. So if you go off of this, just like Ozempic or Manjaro, you're going to eat like normal and gain the weight.
So the way it works is it makes you feel like you're full. It expands in your stomach. Is that what it is?
She didn't seem to have any side effects. She said it gives her tons of energy also.
Yeah, I thought I heard Jeff say that it works by expanding in your stomach so you feel fuller longer.
I don't know. She gave me I think I posted the details she gave me. And then she was like, just say it's me. She goes, I'm getting so many DMs. She goes, basically she's a girl's girl. She was like, if I find something that works for me, I'm not one of those people that's not going to tell anyone. She's not one of those girls that's going to be like, oh, I don't know. I just haven't been eating lately. She wants to share things that help.
She actually sent me a DM about some poop medicine when I was constipated. So she's a very helpful, nice person. It kind of reminds me of the super greens on Real Housewife of Dallas. Mama, what's her face sold with her daughter. Remember
Mama D?
Mama D sold some super green product. It was like this vitamin that was like their best seller.
I can't remember. Some of these people sell so much stuff. Speaking of selling a bunch of stuff, and clearly they weren't selling enough, Kim Zolciak's house in foreclosure the last couple of days? That's crazy.
I feel like they're always doing something shady. I don't know how they make their money. That whole
clearly
family,
they're not.
They're just full of lies. And I always thought Croy was a decent human, but since he's with her, and I remember he said that he doesn't talk to his parents anymore. I was like, those people are fucked up.
I know. And they've got little kids. I mean, that show hasn't been on in a couple of years, but I totally watched it when it was on. But they've got 6 kids total, but the little ones are little. They're little. And they were in private school. What makes me sad, though, and I don't understand foreclosure. I mean, I think I know what it means. I'm not real sure. Does that mean they don't have even that money in the bank, like retirement type money to pull from? Nobody would lose their house if they had money in the bank to pull from, right?
I think maybe it works where you might have money in the bank and you might have other assets that they don't know about. But if you file foreclosure, then maybe it opens those assets up for the bank to come and get after you file foreclosure, I think.
But wouldn't you want to take that money if you had an $80,000 car?
I don't think you're entitled
to sell that car. But I don't think.
Yeah, but I think some people want to hold on to it. So if I can get away with if I'm going to get away with a $300,000 debt and never have to pay that back and not lose anything else, then I think that's what people's goals are.
But they have to live somewhere, and it's not free to live anywhere.
Right. So then then maybe they can cash in one of those assets that the bank did not come after that they could possibly use and sell on their own to now live off of. They don't want the bank to have access to that.
Wow.
That home had a lien against their home. That loan. Okay.
Amy Phillips was talking about it a little bit yesterday or Monday. I think it must have been yesterday. And she was trying to explain it more. Oh my God, I love that dress of my daughter's. Aw, I'm in her closet. And she was trying to explain it, but I was just shocked. She was talking about it being $300,000 and how much that house must be worth.
I think it's only, when she bought it, it was 1.3, and I think now it's like it's over $1 million. It's like 2.5. I don't know.
Oh, I thought they were saying she owed $300,000. I was going to say, well, that means she's paid down a lot. Well, that's a good thing that she's paid down so much, right?
I think she took out a second mortgage on the home, and that's what the $300,000 is, because she was refinancing and pulling out cash, I think.
Oh my God! So clearly,
yes, I remember the way Kim treated her parents on TV. That was crazy. The wedding, and they kicked her out.
Yeah,
but
and you never know what's.
You
never know what's true. I know.
I mean, they raised her, and look how she is. Sorry, Kim.
Wow. I want to know what's up with the cook that they had, Tracy. I loved her. I think she's married with a kid.
Oh, really?
I think so. Or maybe she had a kid on her own. I'm not sure.
Married to a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to write down one of my favorite quotes from Brokeback Mountain when he said,
"Oh yeah,
I can't make it on a couple of high altitude fucks a year."
Jeff and Stu could not make it on that either, clearly, because one of the things he was talking about, the Manjaro, he wants that because the side effects won't affect his dick. His dick will still work. So apparently, maybe one of the side effects of Ozempic, because what was he saying? Ejaculation, fast ejaculation, and then something else. Premature ejaculation and something else. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be messing with your dick to get skinny.
But he did get his UTI fixed. So from this guy that's not a doctor.
Oh, the one NJ told him about that was, I should have had that scanning my body for infections. I was all full of infections.
Yeah. But this compression therapy, I don't know what that means. He doesn't care if he doesn't care if he loses his
No.
I wish I knew how to quit you. Yeah.
I don't understand why he was doing the leg compressions. Is that part of his back stuff?
No, I think it was moving the blood around his body for the infection. Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Maybe like a circulation thing.
Yeah.
Weird.
What do you think about Travis and Shane going to a Halloween party, and Jeff really wanted to see if he could get invited? He doesn't need to go to that party where he said we can't invite parents.
Yes, it's like what I told you earlier with Tyler, where she got invited to some swanky party, and I was like, "Oh, can I go?" And she's like, "No." And I go, "Why not?"
You make sure she videos or does, because we won't say that there's going to be some really fun people there.
She won't even go.
She's not going.
She goes, "I don't care about those people, Mom." And she goes, "And the other reason I wouldn't take you is they're inviting me because I'm not going to act like a big deal and try to take pictures of them like you are."
Duh. She's fucking not going. I'm so mad.
She's like, "No, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb." Okay, whatever.
Well, maybe we should take her invitation then.
Yes.
You can just show up and be like, "I'm Tyler.
I'm Tyler. I gained 80 pounds. Hi, Camille.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
What about Miss Monroe grabbing Doug's bottom?
And him saying, "I don't have a butt." And they were all like, "What?" Oh, poor Doug. He might not have a butt, but I think they were thinking he thought he meant he's small, boned.
He might have a wide butt.
No, I think he probably doesn't have much of a butt. And I think actually, I want to say somebody did a video or a picture from behind of him at Disneyland. Like he was eating a churro talking to Jameson, maybe.
I didn't see that.
But you can. I don't think he's a person that has a big butt. So he doesn't have a butt.
I don't think Monroe cares about the size of a butt. If there's a bottom to smack, she's going to smack it.
I love that. I'm here for it. Totally here for it. Hey, we were right. They did go to Tower Bar last night.
I know. And what
That
about
is
Bobby?
that is her. So it really, have you been there? It really does have a pool? What the hell are they talking about?
It's in the hotel. It's in the hotel. I can't remember the name of the hotel. The one that Monroe always says she wants to live there. Is that the Beverly Hills
Tower Bar? Okay, I know what that is now because we've got a bar restaurant in Houston, Post Oak, that is you can be poolside and eat if you want.
But do you think the Tower Bar is part of the Beverly Hills Hotel?
I think it's different, but I don't know. I think they call it Tower Hotel or something like that, and then Tower Bar is the restaurant.
I've never heard of a Tower Hotel, and I know that when Monroe drives by the Beverly, because it's pink, she always says, "I want to live there." Maybe, I don't know.
I think that's just multiple. Sunset Hotel, is that what it's called? And then Tower Bar is inside of it.
Maybe, yeah. I think you're right, Charlotte. I've seen it.
The first time I flew out to Burbank, and I had lunch with Cheryl from Van Nuys, she pointed out the Tower Bar. So I know I saw it, but it didn't look like a hotel to me, but I guess it is. How weird is it that this neighbor is asking him and putting him on the spot of what he's paying for rent and then saying that he could rent his house? If you're already moved in, what on earth would you want to move a couple of houses down for? Move all your shit?
Well, he knows that Jeff has, right, and he knows Jeff has money, so he's like, well, maybe. That's kind of weird. It's kind of the watcher whole thing. It's like, why are you, go away. That's weird.
But also that guy clearly knows his house has been there for 40 years or whatever. He's never updated it, which I guess Jeff would know because maybe the neighbors have told him, or maybe he can just look at the guy and tell he didn't upkeep it. But this is a brand new house, a couple of years old.
Yeah, but you can also, like, there's public records and you can see when there's been stuff done to a house.
Oh, that's why y'all have all this permit stuff in California?
I guess. I just remember looking and being able to see, like, when a house was built and when it's had stuff renovated and done with it. And I think it's public.
I don't think we can do that in Texas because we've done a lot of stuff to our house, and I don't think we see that online, but I don't know. That's when they raise our taxes.
Yeah, I did work for a mortgage company, so I didn't think it was like any kind of crazy access, but maybe it was like something they pay for to be able to see when houses, but it's available if you want to see.
But I always see on all the TV shows that do remodeling, because a lot of them are done in California, and they talk about the terror of permits. So I think I think California must have a lot more permit things, and that takes a while. So all of that is on file. So if I'm trying to get a permit for a new bathroom, they would know, they added on a bathroom.
Maybe. Right. And especially in LA, they're really particular about granting people permits because they don't want people constantly building, and it just has to be regulated more because there's so much in and out of property. Property is so expensive. I just think it just requires more permitting and stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting, Bridget. Rich people who steal for the joy of it. I mean, I kind of think that as like teenagers. I had a friend in high school. She would steal lipsticks from Walgreens, and we both had plenty of money. I'm like, I would die because I thought you were going to get caught and I'm going to be with you and I'm just going to die. But we were like, I mean, I was 16. She's 4 years younger than me. Anyways, she would just do it for fun. I didn't know that adults did that though. Rich women.
Oh yeah. Like
ladies who lunch.
Winona Ryder got caught for trying to steal like something like a Chanel jacket or something like that out of like a really expensive store. Also, I remember when I was in 7th grade, a bunch of us got to 8th grade or whatever. We got together and we went down to the CVS and one of our friends stole and she got caught and it was humiliating. So I was like, I'm never doing that.
Oh my God. I stole a candy bar in maybe, I don't know, back in the 70s, you would totally walk. We would walk from our elementary down to this 7-Eleven before school.
Right.
Like I would never, you couldn't even do that nowadays. You go in, a teacher makes sure you go inside, you never get to leave.
Exactly.
But anyways, I think my memory is that I stole a candy bar. I promise you, if we drove by that 7-Eleven any time for the next 20 years, I would look away because I thought they were going to see me from inside the 7. I think I stole a Twix, but I can't remember. I think I put it in my lunchbox. And I thought they were going to see me driving by in my mom or dad's car and like come follow us. I was dying. I'm not a stealer at all.
Me neither. I have too much guilt. I can't handle that stuff.
Wow. Linda had an older friend in her 60s that was super rich and loved to steal from Saks. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's just a rush.
I would die.
I know.
I would just die.
And if it's really expensive, it's actually a felony. If it's under a certain amount of money, it's a misdemeanor. But if it's something expensive, then it's a felony against your record. And then you can't vote. I always think that. That's like such a big deal.
Oh, you can't vote? Oh.
No.
I always see people saying they can't get jobs or they can't rent an apartment if they have a felony. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to disclose that shit.
Wow. Ladies who had money. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So it sounds like the birthday dinner went really well. And Jeff even said that he and Gage are becoming friends. I love that.
Yes. I think that's awesome. I think they're in a good spot right now. I think Jeff isn't bitchy. And I don't think Gage is bitchy.
Well, of course he's still bitchy.
Right, but I think Jeff is in a happier place.
Yeah.
And so I think that's all great for Monroe.
And I think he's being so respectful that he is giving Gage credit, and he's like watching him to see like, oh my God, she is afraid of him. She respects Gage. She understands like boundaries. And he said she even likes that. All kids do, no matter how much they rebel. Kids like boundaries and even being told no every once in a while.
Yes, because the only reason they act out and do that stuff is to test where the boundaries are. And so if you're always giving into them, it's confusing because they don't know what's a yes and what's a no. They want, I have a lot of respect for Gage because I think that he works really hard on making Monroe into a good person as not a manipulative little stinker that sometimes Jeff kind of.
Somebody asked, is Gage still doing his paid subscription? I mean, people DM me the stuff as soon as he, and Kelly too, as soon as he posts it. We don't pay for it because he's blocked us clearly, but he still does it. It's very minimal. Like, I think I would want a refund. Is it $5 a month or something?
I'm not sure, but I know that he had promised people pictures from Monroe's birthday and he didn't do that.
No, he did not. Yeah. He did not. Let's wrap it up. We'll talk about music in 1 second. Tomorrow night is Cooking Kibbitz back with Doug Budin. He's doing an Indian vegetarian meal, 5 o'clock Pacific time on his Instagram Live. So join that. And then he usually ends it depending on how much fun. Is he having a guest?
He hasn't said, so I'm not sure.
I know, Camille, we don't know why he blocked us either. I was even looking at Gage's stuff, and I've never been negative about him. I've never posted anything negative.
Our name.
I think it's our name.
Yeah.
Clearly he saw anything Jeff Lewis and was like, Yeah,
and you know how crazy people are, so.
Yeah. I did love the Tinks thing that she got to go to Ad Week, and that Reagan was totally bragging like, oh, she's so easy. It was so easy to interview her.
I wonder if she does that on purpose.
Yeah.
She pumps up Amy. She pumps up Tinks.
Well, because Jeff is always such a bitch when it comes to doing the little things that they ask him to do. Remember?
That's true.
Making that promo video months ago for Sirius. And he was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Huh?
Right. The welcome back video.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because he felt like nobody was back. He's like, you know. Oh, and Bobby Boyd. Yes.
That's so crazy that he said that to Gage. I just don't imagine Bobby saying that, but I guess.
So I did hear that Bobby Boyd was at High Tops over the weekend.
Oh.
Don't know who he was with. So when Jeff told this story today, I was almost like, oh, I wonder if he met this person at High Tops this weekend. I don't know.
He said he was older, though.
Yeah.
I just don't imagine a lot of older people going to High Tops, but.
Jeff goes and he's 52.
True.
As I was scrolling Stu, I got stuck in a rabbit hole because I was looking for Stu's. I never did. Someone sent it to us. Did Camille send it to us, that picture?
Yeah.
I was trying to find it, though, because he said there's one with blood on his face, this cop picture.
Yeah.
And one without. So I was scrolling and I went all the way down. And I found a picture I don't think I'd ever seen before, and it was at High Tops. Shane, Jeff, and Stu. It was really cute.
Aww.
Yeah, on Stu's Instagram grid. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bobby
is hot.
Is gorgeous. We like saw him at the Amazon launch party in June. He is like a Ken doll. I mean,
he is.
But again, there's so many people that are so much cuter in person. Patty Stanger is amazing. Heather, Kelly Dodd is beautiful. I mean, we all know they are, but when you see them in person, you realize it's not fake and mirrors and stuff. They are beautiful.
The only thing I would say about Bobby Boyd that I'm not liking is his hair is getting too tall.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I think it needs to be shorter because it's making it, I don't know, it just looks like he's like.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and he kind of does that a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, a mannerism. So, but also, you know, I like the anorexic look, and I also like the manorexic look. He's getting a little too muscular for me. I mean, if I were a gay man, but I'm not. So what's it better? Okay, let's wrap up with music. I thought it was so good. What was it?
We had, again, some good music tunes. We had Lose My Breath by Destiny's Child and Got Me Good by Ciara. Happy songs that make him feel good, dance songs.
What do you think he's doing with, we did hear about Andrew Freud. I was almost surprised about that. I almost wish they'd give it a rest because we don't know the story about Andrew Freud. But what do we know about Jeff? If he's on something, he is not giving it a rest. So he's either still mad about it or he still think it's funny to razz.
I think he's still mad because he doesn't know what it was, and he doesn't know if there's really something out there or not.
Yeah. He didn't really say what he's doing with Krista, though. He did say they're going out to dinner, but usually he goes out to dinner with people that are going to be on the show, but he also hasn't said she will never be on the show again. He's also said she's just not going to be on the show, right? They're just going to be friends outside the show.
I think she had such a bad experience, even if he wanted her to, I don't think she would.
Yeah. Maybe Andrew is talking about him. Maybe so.
I don't think he did. I think Andrew, other than what he said to Jeff, I think he's very doesn't say anything. He knows Jeff's power in his fans. I don't think he wants to make anyone upset.
Oh my God, to go against Jeff Lewis fans. Oh my. Well, thank y'all for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is oh my God, who is tomorrow?
Jill
Zarin, and we already know she's already posting a picture of her, a video of her on a Rodeo Drive, and a video of her inside of Louis Vuitton.
I hope she didn't drop her dog.
Krista is would you say a longtime friend of Jeff's? I would say a long time.
Oh yeah, because she was on in the Flipping Out days.
Yeah. Look up Krista Lamas, Lamas.
Yes.
Anyways. Okay. Thanks for joining us, Chumpettes. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.